Guys, the Fed is going to raise the interest rates today. Michael Burry, a famous investor who made his money from the 2008 crisis, predicts total pain on the market, while Katy Wood expects a wild Bitcoin price the next decade. How will the Fed affect the market? What is Burry hinting at? And what rare and accurate signal is Bitcoin showing? Let's figure it out right now. If you hold Bitcoin, it's essential to pay attention to the February 1st FOMC meeting. The Fed started to raise rates in March 2022, which led to the start of a bearish trend and a sell-off in Bitcoin and the entire crypto market. The Fed has been aggressively raising the rate for the last 7 meetings. This hasn't happened in almost 20 years, and no one knows how such an unprecedented rate hike could end. Let's figure out how the current rate change will affect the market and Bitcoin in particular. So most people expect the Fed to raise the rate by 25 basis points. If they do, the market won't react much because the market is most afraid of uncertainty. But there are some dangerous scenarios that are more likely to happen. Let's talk about them now. First, the 0.25% rate hike is still a hike. That means money will become even more expensive, debts will become even harder to service, and the US will be one step closer to recession. Bitcoin rose in January partly on expectations that the pace of rate hikes would decrease. Now the sell the news scenario may take place and investors will start selling and dumping the price down. Secondly, what will matter the most is what Jerome Powell says after the meeting results are announced. It is to Powell's words that the market will react the most. Inflation is still high at 6.5%. Powell's rhetoric will probably be hawkish, that is more aggressive to the markets that will cause Bitcoin to drop. Are you following the FOMC? The bad news doesn't end there. Famous bear Michael Burry, who shorted the crisis in 2008 and made over $700 million, made an important tweet. He wrote the word sell, hinting to sell everything. So let's figure out what that means and what to do if you recently stocked up. In one of his deleted tweets in January 26th, Michael Burry showed a chart from 2001 where the market first rose 30%. The financier hints at a repeat of a similar scenario now. But on January 26th, he wasn't sure of his prediction, so he wrote maybe. Now he is confident and urges everyone to sell. It's entirely up to you whether or not you do so, but you should remember, Burry usually turns out right, but with a very long delay. He started shorting the market in 2006 and the crash happened 2 years later. By the way, the famous reversal indicator of Jim Cramer, host of Mad Money, expects a bull market in stocks today. Almost all of his predictions work the other way around. After he called for an exit from crypto, Bitcoin went up 40%, and some altcoins skyrocketed even 2 to 3 times as much. So I wouldn't overlook such an indicator either. While everyone is waiting on the markets to drop, Katy Wood's ARK Invest fund suggests that an annual report of the price of Bitcoin will reach over $1 million by 2030, and scale into a multi-trillion-dollar market. That's a growth rate of more than 4,000%. That means for every dollar invested, you'll make 40. And that's less than 7 years, ARK Invest predicts. Those are some crazy numbers, but when Bitcoin was only $1, the current price seems impossible too. In a bearish scenario, analysts predict Bitcoin rises to $260,000, which is also a lot and 10 times more than the current price. So what is the prediction based on? ARK Invest supposes that in 2030, Bitcoin will partly be used as digital gold, as corporate bonds, as currency for emerging markets, as asset for institutional investments, and others. Prospects are amazing, but even if some of the predictions come true, Bitcoin will become an integral part of the global financial system. In the meantime, Bitcoin went up 39% in January. The last such high increase happened in October in 2021 during a bull market. I found for you a very bullish signal for Bitcoin that works almost 100%, and previously the rate rose more than 10 times after it. Right now, Bitcoin is trading slightly above 150-day and 200-day moving averages. In the past, when the blue line crossed the purple one from the bottom to the top, the bull market would start. Pay close attention to this. Now the lines have not yet crossed, but usually this indicator is late, and it is possible that we are already entering the initial phase of a bull market. On the short-term time frame, this indicator has definitely indicated the beginning of growth. Locally, there may be a correction at 20K, but in the midterm, I expect growth up to 25K. As you can see, the crypto and stock markets have revived since the beginning of the year. The Fed is more likely to raise the rate by 0.25% and at least 2 more times before they start to reduce it. Michael Burry is calling to sell, so keep your finger on the pulse, he might know something. To make sure you don't miss out on important market events, subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching your Coin Post.